You want me to address that, Bob?
Sorry, sir, I'm not taking
You want me to address that a little bit?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Al Abner. I'm with the city. I'm the public works director. As far as the utility, as well you know, and we're talking about the enclave, the county portion. The city has the water line there. There's no sewer. For you to get sewer would require you to be assessed. The city does not extend sewer where there is no sewer. So currently what you see, and I think it's very similar in the county as well.
Somebody has to pay for it.
Somebody has to pay for it. So the rest of the ratepayers don't pay for it. So you would have to assess yourself for sewer. Now, the water, you don't have to worry about the city. That's already in the city system. And when you're like anyone else, when it's time to replace it, we'll replace it. In fact, we're even looking at that area because most of you have like a 2-inch water line in there. So we're even studying the water line in that system. We are not looking at the sewer because there's no sewer there.
Okay.
What would trigger a connection to sewer?
Well, this whole area is city sewer. So it's already, they would, you know, if we put
Or
sewer in
is
it,
city sewer.
it's already, yeah, the whole area is city sewer except for this enclave.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if
There would have to be
this
annexed.
area all of a sudden were annexed,
No, it has nothing to do with annexation.
would everyone have to hook up?
Pay $35,000.
Yes, if there's sewer there, you have to hook up.
That's what they were doing.
Yeah, you don't have to annex to have sewer, you just have to pay
You
for
didn't
it.
have to pay it.
But I mean, it's an option to be an enclave at this point.
Excuse me?
Is it an option for these folks now since they're in an enclave situation? There's nothing making them hook up to
There's no
sewer.
sewer there, so there's nothing to hook up. If there was sewer there, regardless if it was city or county, they would be required to hook up to the sewer.
Or if there was.
Would that be similar to like the Cape Coral deal?
Exactly.
Okay.
Cape Coral, if you know anything about Cape Coral, yeah, they're extending the sewer. So there's no sewer there, so one gets assessed. You can't assess the ratepayers that are already paying for sewer.
What causes the sewer to be extended?
Well, in this case here,
It's
it would
already
take
in
the
the city.
community to sit there and say, yeah, come to the city and petition the city
no
and
money
say
in
they
sewer,
all
it's in
want to
water.
have their sewer extended
already have
and
water.
agree to pay for the
We
extension.
have city water, not sewer.
Right, because there's no money in sewer.
Along that line, when I saw this, the improvements that were being done out of our area and that were coming toward us, I went down to the city engineers and I asked, you know, when is our area going to be impacted by this? And one of the engineers or one of the office personnel there said, well, you know, it's coming your way. And I said, well, are we going to expect the impact fee that Cape Coral has been trumpeted in the papers of $15,000 per household? And he says, no, the city doesn't charge an impact fee. You would merely be charged a hookup fee.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Okay. What he's saying to you, and we are moving in this direction, he's talking about replacing existing sewer. So we are moving this way. If you do have sewer, you're eventually going to get it replaced over a 5-year program. If you have no sewer, no, there's nothing going to be extended there. Okay, so if the neighborhood decides they want to extend the sewer and want to pay for it, the city would extend it. And the city currently has a waiver on impact fees up to September of 2011. So up until that point, there's two different issues. What's happening in Cape Coral is the assessment. They have to pay for the extension. You're in the same situation. Okay. Then when you hook up, then there's the impact fee. Currently, the city waives the impact fee, and that sunsets September of 2011.
So you're saying that Cape Coral right now is also charging an impact fee?
Well, I think that number you
That's
keep
what
hearing
makes it
includes
so
that.
high.
I
It's a
think it
different
includes that.
municipality.
I live in a
Yeah,
So
Cape.
you're saying the city of Fort Myers
And you're doing
has waived that
I
in
work here.
2011 at sunset
That's
and possibly will not be renewed. But we have that grace period to come in and merely be charged a hookup fee rather than an impact fee.
Correct. Right. Not talking about paying for the extension. We're talking two different things now. So if the people in Maryvilla, and I assume you're in Maryvilla, there's no sewer there at all.
Right.
Okay. And the community says we want sewer. We will work up a cost estimate. You would agree to assess yourself, and whatever that cost may be. And you know, Cape Coral's throwing out numbers, what, $10,000 to $20,000? Well, that's about what it costs. Sewer runs you about $500 a foot. You know, so things go up. So that's about right. So the numbers that Cape throwing out are realistic numbers.
So we're talking a $10,000 to $15,000 fee per household over and above hookup fee.
That's correct.
because each household has to be replumbed to
It's only
accept
225 to pump right
just
there.
drain, line or whatever.
That's correct, yeah. You would have to abandon your septic tank, and then you would have to hire
Collapse
them.
it.
Collapse it in and all of that,
Right.
fill it
You
in.
would have to abandon your septic, collapse it in, is correct.
Yeah, we have them
And
here.
then you have to get a plumber then to plumb to that, to the service connection on the right of way.
Well, I respectfully hear what you're saying and disagree with the numbers because we're completely surrounded by city plumbing. And you're saying $500 per foot. I cannot match those numbers that you're talking about, a $10,000 to $15,000 impact fee per household when those short streets
But
are
we're not
connected.
surrounded with sewer, we're only surrounded with water.
No, sewer runs down Cleveland, sewer runs down Broadway to Carroll and beyond. You know, we really are an enclave.
It runs
And
everywhere.
the numbers may not be accurate until they decide what the actual numbers may be.
It does run
I don't
down.
know. Just tell you that it's expensive, it's not, you know, and you keep saying, you know, impact fees, you know, it's an assessment, it's not an impact fee.
Still a fee.
We still have to pay.
Just went out.
Well, I understand, but it's not an impact fee. You know,
What about, I just wanna throw one thing out. When we first moved here into the city,
This doesn't have
we were
to do
paying
with
city
everything.
sewer for the first 4 years.
It's just, you know.
We were paying city sewer along with our water bill until I brought it to the attention of the sewer, or the water department. And the lady down there said, well, what they'll do is they'll just continue to bill you your sewer until your impact fee is paid, and then it'll come off your bill, which we continued paying it for another 2 or 3 years, and then it finally came off of our bill. So what you're saying is all that money that I paid in is now out the window because I'm gonna have to pay an impact fee again, or assessment fee again.
I'm gonna give you my card, I'm not, you know, that
I'm
doesn't sound
just,
right.
well, I'm just telling you what happened. When we moved into, we live in the city
That was back in
limits.
'86.
And we've been, you know, we moved in '86 and we paid it for like 6 or 7 years. We paid city sewer, and the lady down there just stated that, you know, it was gonna go towards the impact fee or assessment fee. But, you know, I didn't get her name, but I just feel like I got bamboozled out of 7 years of paying sewer when I was going into a septic tank.
Did you keep your bills, sir?
No, this was back in '86.
I can vouch for that, I'm not a bill
Or-
collector. I mean, I don't keep
We
them.
keep them for a year and then we chuck them. I mean, I don't know anybody that keeps bills for, I mean, we keep them for a year and then after a year we throw them away and then the next year starts up.
Well, I hope it works out.
The only thing I keep
There are
for
so
like 4
many
years. and that's
people on
tax.
Maravilla who are seniors, and some of them are over 70 years old, and they own their house, but I mean, they're in their sunset years, and some of them are just on Social Security. How does the city expect them, if you're giving them to say 2011 or whatever, how does the city expect them to pay for this sewer hookup? Is there going to be any way to grandfather someone like that in based on income? Because that doesn't seem fair, that everybody around them is getting the benefit of sewers and everything, and they're having to suddenly pay all this amount of money.
Yeah, that's something, again, you know, that's an issue that have to be discussed and raised at neighborhood meetings and so forth. I mean, this is not gonna happen overnight. It's something that has to be carefully studied and thought of before the annexation takes place. So everybody gets their opportunity to talk about that and a range of issues. And we would present, you know, the benefits of being in the city and.
But that's not actually even on the table right now, is it?
No.
So
No.
we're worrying about something.
You're all right
that's not
over the
there.
weekend. You can go visit. We won't do it
Not
to you
unless you're
over the-
petitioning to get it.
Yeah.
Well, what is the percentage of the people that have to vote in favor of in order to pass?
I think there's 2 provisions. One is 100%, the other one is a majority or 51% and higher. And this may be the 51% and higher rule, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I got it.
Excuse me, can the city just annex them in, since they're a small enclave?
No.
No?
No, it requires meetings, public hearings, notices, whole nine yards.
And just how many people are we talking about this enclave? I mean, how many families are actually involved?
I couldn't say, I don't know.
You got Marino, this side of Marino, the north side of Marino is county.
Uh-huh.
The south end is county, the north end is city. all of Unity is city, except for the very end of the road on both ends. That's county. Hunter Street, the north end is county, the south end is city. All of Marvella is county, Marvella Circle is county, and Unity is county. On the other end, across the road.
Range of 80 to 120 households.
About 120 houses. Well, actually more than that, probably closer to about 200, 250 houses. Because you also have Pine View, that's county. That goes back, that's also county. And Williams Drive, I believe, is also county. And they're just little pockets of county. What it was is way back when Judge Odom was a judge, and the only way that he could continue being a judge was to live in the county. So they annexed all this area county and built the city around it, so he could continue to be a judge.
And now everybody's suffering for it.
And now everybody's suffering. He used to live right on the corner of Marvella Circle and Marvella Lane, in that one big house with little.
That's
Well,
what
before
Snag
Thompson
lived there.
lived
Snag
there,
Thompson.
he was the sheriff.
Thanks for sharing that, because I had no idea what that.
That's where it all started from. That's why how the jurisdictions all got twisted up. And now we're in a situation where a lot of these people on Marino and that, they don't want to go city because they don't want to pay assessments for sewer. So they're the ones that's, holding it up. People on Williams Drive, Mr. Williams, I mean, he's passed away now, but his kids, they own a lot of properties over there. They don't want to, be assessed on each one of them properties. That's where you have the people dragging their feet, is the little pockets of the county that just don't want to move forward. They want to keep their, tax bills low and stay hidden, back out of the, public eye is what it amounts to. I got brothers that, are hiding in little pockets of county, and they like to pay that $70 a year in taxes, where,
But then you have somebody like my neighbor who is 81 years old and she's lived there for so many years, and to suddenly tell her, oh, wait a minute, you're gonna have to mortgage your house so that you can get sewer, I mean, that'll give her a heart attack.
I don't want anybody here to leave with the wrong impression. We're not saying that this is something that's gonna happen overnight and so forth and so on. I mean, you'll get plenty of notice if and when it's even an idea that's coming forward, so please don't upset some of your neighbors and stuff and tell them that their assessments.
For them, just make sure you watch your mailboxes and attend it when it comes. They'll try to sneak it in on you if you don't.
Next
Let me just clarify something for you so you understand. Just because you're in Maryville doesn't mean anything to us, as far as the utility is concerned. No, it doesn't. We treat you the same as all our customers. I have 450 different areas in the city without sewer, in the city, not enclaves. So it's not, because you're an enclave, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with our bond covenants and who has to pay for the extension. It's not right that a paying customer who pays for capacity and use of the sewer system has to get a rate increase because we want to extend sewer where there is no sewer. Right. Someone has to pay. It has to come from somewhere. So if you're not paying sewer, who's going to pay? So if you're not going to pay, that means someone that has sewer is going to pay. Right. Someone's paying for it.
Well, the nice thing about septic is we're not a burden on the system. For whatever the existence of that house has been in existence, we're not a burden to the city sewer system. We should get a preference or priority or proration or something.
Tax break.
For 50 years of not pumping sewage into the city sewage system.
Okay. Good question. The sewer system is designed on what they call build out. The sewer plants build on that. So for every parcel of land that has a sewer capacity, there's a number attached to that, and the plants build on that. So if Maryville was to hook up, we have to guarantee that there's capacity at the plant. If there's not, we have to expand the plant. Thus, in the case in the city, we're going to build a new plant because of all the annexation that occurred out on the Colonial. They had to pay for that. So I just want you to think that this is an isolated situation on Maryville. I got 450 different areas throughout the city.
I thought your idea was interesting.
Yeah. It's self-serving.
The city ought to pay you for not
I'm paying
receiving the
water.
service.
Yeah, I pay $12 a month or whatever my usage.
At least
fee
pump
is.
my septic out once
Isn't
a
that one of
month for
those
free.
green principles you see on the newscast?
Yeah, I'm free. I'm free.
But, you know, in that respect, there's no difference between the county utility, the city utility, or Cape Coral. They're all governed by a bond covenants, and they all have to operate the same way. So you keep hearing Cape Coral, obviously, because Cape Coral doesn't have any utility, and so they're extending it and charging the people for it. You don't see that so much in the city or even in the county because they have a lot of utilities in there. So the county, when they extend the sewer, they assess the property owner as we do. There's no difference in that. Now, I will say this, when they told you that they're moving this way, if that's when you want to assess yourself, that's the opportunity because that's the best time you're going to get the best price.
That's when the ground's open, right?
That's when the ground's
It'll
open,
be a
that's when the
known
contract.
price though. We'll be given.
It'll be
a
known price, yeah.
So how much discount you gonna give them now?
Well, the
ground
benefit is, you know.
No
you know,
impact
if
fee.
you- I don't know what the
That's
number's
only
going to be.
Send
The
the
benefit
estimate
is,
out through the
the
mail.
That's only
contractor on
$75.
site, he's already here doing the work and you'll get a better price. You're bringing a contractor to do a small area, it's going to be more expensive. So,
And
when
you
that
know
occurs,
you can't dig your
that's the
own-
time to strike.
So if you got a system that's working,
Excuse
You
me?
don't
Yeah,
wanna be-
septic
you don't wanna be
systems are
assessed.
designed to last a long time as long as they're not overused, so
like
to
some.
speak. And they're properly maintained, but I think, aren't those systems sized on bedrooms?
Bedroom size, right?
Yeah, exactly, and what, 2 per bedroom, something like that? So when,
They're really sized on an average house, and it's usually, and the number keeps changing depending on the engineers, but a lot of times it's based on 2.5 people per household, is what they're sized roughly. Yeah. But that's on average, some houses only have 1, some houses have 5, you know, so it's just kind of an average number.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hey, skip the gentleman in the back, Kevin Farrell. He's from Kevin Farrell, from the Sheriff's Office also.
I would take it over.
And we got Beverly Reed, Councilman Sims' assistant. You have anything from the Councilman's office, ma'am? And we have our code enforcement guy.
Does anybody have any code issues in the city limits? Because I have another meeting I have to attend.
No, I don't believe, you've been doing a great job as far as I'm concerned.
we really
You
have-
make your rounds and you do your job.
We got applications so you can work for the county too?
Yeah.
They did annex it into the city, you know, just got annexed in. Any of the vacant buildings, we have our own board up team that goes right out and board them right up. And if they get overgrown, we have our own rapid response team that mows them too. So the response that way is quicker, and the property maintenance in the county, they won't make you paint your house. If it's dilapidated or faded, we will if it's that bad.
The county does have a team of like 5 or 6 guys that go around the county and address certain issues.
Right.
But like you said, totally different rules and regulations between county and city.
It's a big area.
But yeah, but definitely, when I give my card out, I have an email on there. So anybody that has access to a computer, email me. And what I'll do, I'll turn on whoever the code enforcement officer is for this area onto you guys, so you guys know, so you
Isn't
guys
it
can
Orlando?
bombard him. Well, it could be. Really don't know. I haven't talked to him since that one day we were here.
Well, I just called, and it comes out.
Regardless, we do have a team.
You got
We
your
do have a
mouse on the
team that
map.
actually
Yes.
I know in the 33 years that I've been on Marville Circle, we've had a lot of drainage problems. And I've done a little research, and what I do is I find that the Broadway Canal drains into the Carroll Canal, which then crosses across
Thank
Fort
you,
Myers
Tom.
Country Club. At that section there by McGregor, they have a weir.
Yep.
And it seems like even when they do open those small gates, it's days before the water level here drops,
Subsides, yeah.
when we have a direct access into the river. And I just don't understand that with the septics, some of these people are probably suffering when the water's getting in the circle.
And last year,
There's
when
when you
all
get
that
the
water, they
smell.
left them closed for
Right.
over a
I
week,
don't-
and
And
we had
we-
to beg to get them open. I mean, we had water up to our dock.
Exactly,
We did
yeah.
too.
In the building.
Docks out here. And that weir is the reason. That's a direct
I drove down
access
there, it
right
was
into
closed.
to the river.
Right.
Exactly.
We was here for 22 years and we flooded out downstairs in our house 3 times that
So
year.
that's some of the issues that I have in my
And never
neighborhood
done
with the
it
septics
before.
and the water.
That's true.
Yeah, all that standing water over
Dry
there.
season, we forget about that, but.
Anyone get a
but I
chance
mean,
to sign the sign-in sheet that's floating around? Anyone have a sign?
Yeah, if anybody hasn't signed in on the sign-in
I
sheet,
haven't signed it.
they'll be passing it around, and we'll get your name and
Does
your
anyone
address.
know what's
and-
going on with the road issue out here?
Yeah.
I know that they've been, go
A
ahead.
lot of painting on the road.
Let me,
Yeah,
if I can back up and discuss the weir.
Okay.
McGregor. The whole intent of a weir is to hold water back. I know the problems you're running into doing that, but that's what the environmentalists want you to do. That's what South Florida wants you to do. The ideal is to keep the water within the system so that it percolates down. It's a matter of timing. Unfortunately, what ends up happening, by the time we do open them, the ground's saturated and you got that problem. So we're not allowed, the weirs are there to hold the water back. Obviously, in your situation, you would prefer there was no weir and you have direct flow right into the river and you don't have that problem. But that's why the weirs are there. It's more environmental issues. It's to retain fresh water because our freshwater resources are dwindling, and that's the whole purpose of keeping it in there, not to just discharge it into the river.
So refill
the only
aquifer.
problem we have with that though is for people, I'm upstairs, so it really don't matter to me, but like I said, we got flooded out 3 times, but my neighbor over there, he's had to, you know, tear out drywall and replace drywall from where he's been flooded. I mean,
We don't need the fresh water in our home.
We have walking catfish in the parking lot in the street.
yeah.
And the whole weir system works in tandem with Cape Coral and the county. All agencies have to agree when they open and when they close. It's just not, you know, me going out there willy-nilly and opening it up. It doesn't work that way.
So there's a schedule?
Oh, yeah.
Do we know what it is?
Well, the schedule, it's not a date schedule like that. It's when there's a storm event, then the agencies get together and decide when they're gonna open it and when they're gonna close it.
Find
So
a
it
place
depends
to-
on the
Just
event.
find a place to do some sandbagging.
We need his card.
Well, you know, I mean, we wanna hear from you if you're having flooding issues.
Well, we did.
We've had the county out.
Okay, but-
Was it 2 years ago? It was really bad.
Yes.
Not last year, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We're good.
In fact, we had the drainage area cleaned out because we thought it was.
Now, let me talk
drainage.
about Unity Avenue. Last time I was here, and it was a meeting that was scheduled, but not
Yes,
scheduled.
and it didn't happen.
Right, didn't happen, and we spoke a little bit, and at that time, there was some concern about some signage, speed signs, and neighborhood
Which-
watch sign, which we installed.
Right.
The other part was doing some road work, and we are working on that. We have APAC under contract. The city is now ordering the materials, because we have to widen the road a little bit. That's what you guys wanted, so we had to order some areas, we got a pipe in the ditch. So
Yeah.
we have to order material. The materials are in order. I hope to have that project done within the next 3 to 4 months.
Okay,
It's moving
my main concern is because like when you get big box trucks here and you get school buses, and a lot of times last year the school buses was speeding and we got these great big old dips where the claws pick up. I was afraid more for the school buses flipping and kids getting hurt or someone getting run over, because it's hard to even get 2 cars by, much less big vehicles.
Well, we are moving forward, and the project is
Well,
going to
I
happen.
have noticed
APAC
it.
Okay, so right now the project is running from Broadway to Fowler.
I just wanted to get everyone else's.
The road right now
Okay.
varies in width from, and I'm going on memory, from 16 feet, this first block, I think 16 feet to about 19 feet. So it varies, it kind of moves in and out like that.
Mhm.
I think it's nearer or closer to
Well,
Broadway.
like my wife was saying, our main concern is there's a school bus stop for the high school kids at the corner of Broadway and Unity. And these kids are going to school in the morning when it's still dark, and you got guys
So-
coming to work here, and you got, you know, semi trucks and big box trucks coming down this skinny road, and you know, you got kids that are diving in the ditch for their lives, you know, because
One little girl actually got run
it
over
was
on
little
Hunter
girl that
Street,
got,
I mean.
you know, hit on Hunter Street, and the driver didn't even, I mean, stopped and backed up and looked and seen her, you know, getting herself up out of the ditch, and then just took off, didn't even, you know, stay to see it. The kid was actually all right, and you know, it's.
And she really
it's-
wasn't.
I know we're not getting sidewalks, but just to have the roads wide enough where two cars can, or a car and a truck can go by each other without, you know, the car having to give in to, you know, pulling off the road a little bit. You know, it's.
Well, like I said, it's in progress. I mean, like I said, we have APAC under contract, we got the material order. The road's going to
We have
21
no
feet, so
problems
if
with
you're
the
interested in
kids
how wide it's
still.
gonna go, it's gonna be 21 foot wide.
You need to say something.
Okay?
That's
We
she's in
appreciate
the county.
kids in the neighborhood appreciate it
She's
too.
in the county. They're still in her yard on the paper.
Anyone have anything
Some
else?
should be last.
Miss Catherine Dampier, go ahead.
I'm having problems with the kids. I had my trash out on Central. One evening I was going to the mailbox and I heard something that sounded like my trash cans fell over. And I looked out there and there was 2 girls, probably 10 or 12 years old, and pushed them over. I had to go out there and pick them up. And then the other night, the neighbor across the street caught some boys in there pulling all my mangoes off of the tree. Just, they're doing all kind of things since school's out.
And we try to stay pretty active, and since school's been out, we try to stay very active in here. I know I can speak for the day shift guys that were in here quite a bit around your house, because I remember I wrote your address down, and it's hard. If we can catch the kids doing it, we can catch them doing it, and we can address it. It's difficult afterwards, but the more we're in here, the more we're seeing, the less that's going to happen to you. So we're trying to be in here as much as possible.
Well, I know for a fact there was a lady that went up in her yard and knocked down her no trespassing sign and picked a mango and went back towards the Royal Palm area.
I don't doubt that.
I seen her from my house, but it's, it's like almost impossible to run them down,
So a mango
half a block
next light,
away.
Well, it's probably not worth running after somebody over a mango. However, but you
But
can call us.
when they're tearing her sign
No,
down,
I understand. I understand.
she's got a sign up saying no trespassing, they're knocking the sign down, and then.
Oh, and that's disturbing the quality of life, and I understand that, and that's an issue for us to address.
I'm highly allergic to them.
I didn't mean it to be funny. I just meant definitely call us when something like that happens, please.
You gotta remember this lady's up there in age and she can't.
Right, and that's why I want to help as much as we can.
And I will vouch for you guys have been in the areas.
Yeah, the sheriff, I mean, I
Constantly.
give it to y'all have taken and stepped up on the alley, and it has slowed down.
I've seen
immensely.
quite a bit
That's
of
why we're
people
trying to
pulled
let
over.
Y'all know, and over on Marvella,
They don't come through my
call,
Well,
and they will.
if we haven't, we will. I promise you that. We've been running a lot of radar right here on Broadway in between Moreno and Primaryville. We've been running a lot of radar, and I know the city runs everywhere. I see them on everywhere else that we're not. I see the city working. But we've been trying to curb the speed, because the speed is a problem here on Broadway.
Yes.
And we're definitely addressing that part of it too. But we will pay closer attention, I promise. And if somebody, after I give you my card, if you want to call me, please. I expect phone calls tomorrow from people on Maryville that have these problems, because I want to address them. And I want to personally see what the problems are, so I can get with the guys that we all work together and work as a team and get this issue taken care of for you.
Okay, I need one of your cars too, because on that end of Unity, we need you all to drive up in there every now and then.
And we do. Like I said, the last couple of months, we've been paying special attention there, because
And
we
when
have
I
gotten a
see
lot
you,
more calls.
I wave.
I've seen you several times.
That's her gratitude.
Yes, I wave, let you know I
If you pull in
see
the
you.
driveway, talk to her for 2 minutes, the neighbor might leave her alone.
Yes.
My question is, if we're a neighborhood watch group, can we develop some kind of a list of names and phone numbers so that we can call each other or contact each other?
I think it's a good idea.
Well, I believe Mr. Farrell back there specializes in a lot of that type of stuff.
Sure.
He could probably direct you in how to.
You guys all have a sign-in sheet. I know Carol's been very good at emailing folks when she emails me and Mike and stuff. She did a whole list of everybody. If you don't have emails, she can contact you. You're going to give her your address, your name, and your telephone number, and she can set up a phone list and do a fantastic job on it. And then you can all have it. And, you guys get together, the summer's coming up, 4th of July, a lot of stuff. You get together as a neighborhood. It's great to be able to, folks at the electric company let you guys use this as a meeting place. It's fantastic.
Absolutely, we're really
I've been in
grateful.
driveways before. So this is a great place.
So anyone that wants to.
Neighborhood, you can see the battered old signs for the neighborhood watch.
Maybe addresses.
I thought maybe
Website program, somebody built us a website.
take a copy of
These guys are real good
the
at it.
signage.
You can make it
You
out.
guys can replace it with TNS signs, and I think if you take the old sign in, they might even rescreen it.
TNS is very good when it comes to science.
They're very reasonable.
Very reasonable.
Last Tuesday.
Can I ask another water question? How often do those drains that go in between our yards get cleaned? Because we've got 3 grates in our yard, so Which
The
is
drainage
not-
is not the city in there. The water, potable water system is there, not the drainage.
I need to get,
That's county.
maybe Bobby.
You have to contact
They
the
ask
county.
you how many times we go in
Copy
there,
of
we
the
don't.
sign-in sheet.
Sure.
See, with the city, with us, since we are in the city, they've come through with our underground culvert systems. They'll take the grates off and they'll blow them out.
Yeah, with their back.
Clear them.
Right. Yeah, we need that assistance, yeah.
You gotta contact your county.
Well, they're full now and been that way for 4 years.
It would probably help y'all out a lot to have, call them up and find out exactly what, you know, you gotta do. I know we had to.
Rains like they had in the orders.
We had to
Canal
get
gets
on them
full,
for.
we flood.
We had to get on them for probably 4 or 5 months steady before they actually came out. I'm just being honest with you. Now as a city, the county's gonna be a little bit more dragging of the feet because they got a lot more area to
They've been
cover.
doing it forever.
Well,
Dragging.
squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Keep on the
That's a
phone
fact.
to them and they'll get
Call
out
them up,
there.
get a representative next month here.
Or talk
That's
to
it.
the supervisor.
But, you know, just to give
Yeah,
you
see if we
a
can get one of them.
perspective, and I appreciate what you say about the
Nothing they can
city.
do.
Yeah.
Nothing they can do.
Just to kind of put in perspective, I appreciate what you say about the city. The city has about 230 miles of roads. The county has over 6,000, so just kind of put it in perspective.
We've been going for 44 years and it's still drowning every time it rains.
You might want to call the county too and see if you can't schedule a meeting to have your culverts flushed out.
Yeah, that's
I know we had to have it done over here.
Well, you
It
don't
takes-
have to flushing that out when you won't let the canal go.
And that weir's holding it back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so obvious.
You need to call that gentleman right back
We need
there.
that card.
You need to get his card.
Yeah.
Well, you're not sure that when they're flooding out, they wanna really flood you and say, look what we're.
I know I didn't like flooding, but I'm, like I said, I'm safe. I'm upstairs, but I know a lot of you aren't.
No, we have water
We need
inside.
I
to
wouldn't want downstairs to flood either.
get that gentleman's
If I was
card back
upstairs.
there.
Do you have cards?
Yeah.
Seriously now.
So you wanna have anything
call
else?
him
I'll be your new
then.
best friend.
Anyone have anything else?
Any other issues?
One last thing, I'm Lieutenant Perry, I'm with the Fort Myers Police Department. I'm the shift commander for Ward 3, which covers your neighborhood all the way up to MLK, from the south side of MLK. From Cleveland Avenue, all the way over to
Or I can throw them around.
Bend Street,
In the city.
in the city. That's the area that I'm covering. We have 2 community police officers, Officer Jackson and Officer Swartz. Officer Swartz on vacation, and Officer Jackson had a family issue, so he couldn't be here tonight. I'll leave my card here, and for those of you who have a pen and want to write down my number, I'll give you my cell phone. Put my cards here. I will call you back if you call me. I will call you back. I have to be honest with you, I like to fish, so sometimes I'm in an area that doesn't have a signal, and I can't call you back. But I always have my cell
Good
phone,
reason.
and when I get back, I will call you back. So please call. If you see prostitutes walking around the neighborhood, whether it's in the county or the city, call. Call the county or call us. We will have someone come out and either try to find out where they're going or where they're being dropped off. Sergeant Miller, myself, and my CPCs, along with Officer Black, we've been working together, finding out where the location they're going, and we've been addressing those issues. But, you know, they know when we're coming, they kind of duck and dodge and hide from us. But you guys will see them where they're going, so please call. If you see someone pushing a shopping cart and it has aluminum in it, pipes or whatever they have in that, call us so we can check them out. Because usually what happens is we have a lot of abandoned houses. Usually they go in the house, they take the pipes out, take the air conditioners out, and take it to salvage. So we try to find out who they are. We do a field interview card on them so we can build up a database on these type of individuals.